You're getting old when your body starts creaking.
My name is Dave Rudolf. I'm a performer. I've worn a lot of different hats over the year, producer, even an actor, hard to believe. Who would have thunk with this face? I've made a bunch of 40 albums now, and I've got gold records and Grammy nominations. I've been around for a while. Did both adult stuff, kids albums, all kinds of things, yeah.
It's been right before you when you look in the mirror. The signs and the lines, they couldn't be clearer.
Well, I always loved music growing up, and I loved the Beatles and stuff. And I'm a bit older, so that was of my era and stuff. So I've always loved playing. Once I graduated from college, I started doing it in a band called Pythagoras, and that was short-lived. And I've been doing it full time for just about 50 years now. So.
You're getting old when your memory's leaking, when you're grunting to tie your shoes and your back goes out more than you.
The first time I thought about being a musician is when I saw like the rock bands on TV, like the Beatles, on Ed Sullivan and the other ones. And I love the interaction and how the audience reacted to them. Girls like them too, which is always great. So that's what I wanted to do at that point. I didn't know that I could make it a career. I started in high school in a couple bands. Then I went to college. And then once I graduated from college, I really started in earnest with a group called Pythagoras. And then after that, I kind of morphed pretty quickly into solo act. And I've done it full time for about 50 years now.
You're getting old when your body starts creaking. You're getting old when your memory's leaking.
Well, the thing I really like is that I've done a lot of different things. There's a famous quote by Dave Bowie that said, where you should go as an artist, I'm paraphrasing, where you should go as an artist is into that part of the pool where you can barely touch the bottom so that you don't feel comfortable. You have to learn. And so one of the things about my career is that I've always tried to try a bunch of different stuff, to challenge myself as a writer or as an artist, and to do things I'm not necessarily comfortable with. And then you become comfortable with it. So in the course of my career, I started out doing the 1972s and 1973. I was doing Earl of Old Town and all the whole folk scene, and I saw quick enough that you didn't make any money in that. So I moved into the college market. When I moved into the college market, I looked around and saw all these really good-looking young guys, and the girls are going, "Oh, he's so dreamy, let's book him." And I'm looking at me and I'm going, "I ain't getting those jobs, there's no way." So I was the idiot. I was the one who did the funny stuff. I did a lot of parodies and other things. And as I moved along, I had kids. I started doing children's shows. I tried stuff where I wrote soundtracks. I wrote stuff for magicians for for the Big Grand Illusionist. I wrote music for that. I wrote commercials. I wrote some soundtrack stuff for industrial films. And then I would do all kinds of different music. So I would do an album of island music or beach stuff and challenge myself to write that. Then I did an album of R&B stuff and wrote that. And then I would write, I had a couple Christmas parody albums that Dr. Demento played a lot. And I headlined at comedy clubs in the 80s and 90s to hone that skill of being a performer. So it's a long-winded way of saying I like the fact that I could try lots of different music. And that's one of the reasons I used to do a lot of opening acts, because I would do everything. I could do pretty much fit into whatever slot they needed for me. So I opened for Cheech and Chong, believe it or not, the Beach Boys. Then I would open for country bands like Tim McGraw or the Gatlin Brothers. But then I would do rock bands like Skafish and other stuff. So I would do all these things because they knew I would kind of morph into what they needed for that audience.
must choose the right way and take the right way. Come on, take the right way.
I love writing, and that's my big love, is writing and challenging myself to write different stuff, and then watching something start out as a seed and then seeing it develop. And it's like anything else, you become better at it as you practice a lot. It's like a muscle. Athletes don't start out by hitting all of their shots right away. You're going to miss some, and I did plenty of missing. But so I like to be able to go into a comedy thing and do funny stuff. I like being able to do a kids show. Well, I don't do them anymore, but I did them for years. At kids, and then that's a different kind of writing. And I love being on stage in kids shows and making the kids laugh like crazy, okay, and doing the funniest tunes. But I also like doing a coffee house and doing a very sensitive song. And that's a whole intimate thing. And then you're in big stadiums, you're trying to judge, if you're doing an opening act or even if you're doing a show with a nice theater, 300, 400, 500 people, that's a different feel. It's a different attitude you have to take on stage too. It's not as intimate anymore. You have to open up your performance more. So you learn all that stuff, and it's just fun to put yourself, and scary to sometimes put yourself in those situations. But you learn from it all.
Give the world a shake up.
Well, the reason I do it is I have to do it. That's what I'm built to do. That's what I feel the most comfortable doing. It's my life's work. The added benefit is that you touch other people. I have a form of legacy in my albums. I'm up to 40 of them now. Didn't say they're any good, but I've got 40 of them. But a bunch of them have won awards and stuff. So you feel you have to do it. It's what I was born to. I feel I was born to do it. And I still feel there's so much more to learn, even at my age and doing. I'm learning things every year.
You might have a different view. Not everyone is pretty hopeless.
Currently working on a couple things. I think I have 2 songs up for a TV show and I think a movie. And then I'm also I'm writing my 41st album and my 42nd. I'm writing 2 albums concurrently.
Why don't you stand up and give someone a hand up? Why don't you stand up and give the world a shake up?
I have a YouTube channel. You can see some of the videos from some of my albums, and most of my 40 albums are up on YouTube and iTunes, and there's only maybe about 5 that are out of print, or thankfully on some of them, and YouTube, iTunes, Amazon, most of the digital ones. You can order them from my website. It's daverudolf.com or daverudolf1.com, either one, and that's DAVERUDOLF.com.
Come on, take the right way.